Hey, this interview episode is brought to you by Tyree Off-Road. Lights for people that need to get shit done. Visit tyreeoffroad.com right now. That's TYRI offroad.com. And now, just for you Jeep Talk Show fans, you can get 15% off. Just use JTS15. Help support the company that supports the show you love, the Jeep Talk Show. Howdy, boys and girls. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview. We're going to be talking with Jerry. You guys know Jerry. Jerry's been here before, several times before, every year right before Toledo Jeep Fest. I think we have you here every year. I know we had you here last year, Jerry. And Jerry's going to be joined with Brent. Brent, have we had you on the show before? It seems like we had.
Nope. I've never been on the show before.
I've heard your name, and do we see you at the Toledo Jeep Fest, like during the live or something? I don't know.
I've been a part of Jeep Fest for a while. Yeah. I was actually one of the people that started Jeep Fest in the 2016, and I took a break from it, and then I came back last year, and been a part of it last year and this year.
You try to get out, and they pull you back in. I see how it works.
Exactly what happened.
You may have seen Brent in one of the interviews clips that we did with Chris. He's been to a couple of more events, and Brent and I are usually there double teaming it to make it happen.
I think Chris is going to be there again this year. I'll have to check with him. I'm supposed to do a call with him here in a little bit, but thank you guys for making time to do this interview. So Jerry has been involved with Jeep since 1968 when he worked on the M750 and the M725 Kaiser Jeeps. He is a retired plant manager from the Toledo Jeep plant and now works as an event planner for Toledo Jeep Fest. Brent is a retired engineer and tooling designer from Jeep who recently retired and has been involved with Jeep manufacturing for over 30 years. Brent is a member of the Toledo Jeep Fest team. Brent, tell me, did you work on the Gladiator?
I did do a little bit of work on the Gladiator, but most of my stuff has been on the Wrangler, and then even back with the Cherokee, the Nitro, and the Liberty.
So when you say Cherokee and you're putting it with the Liberty, so you must mean the real Cherokee, the XJ.
I did work on the XJ back years ago in production, but I'm talking the newer.
Oh, Cherokee. No. See, Jerry knows Jerry knows the real XJ.
I did. I love the old XJ.
Yeah, the 4.0s, I think that was the really the downside to the newer Jeeps was not having that 4.0. I have a Gladiator, 2021 Jeep Talk Show Gladiator, and the 3.6 has some nice power to it. It's really nice, but it doesn't have that 4.0 sound. And to me, the 4.0, that sound when my daughters would be driving home in their TJs, I'd be outside working on whatever Jeep it was, and I could hear that noise. And it's not like it's got a special exhaust or anything. It's just the normal 4.0 sound, and I could tell it was coming down the road. I knew it was one of my wife or one of the two girls that were driving TJs.
It definitely had a different sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing about the old 4-liter was that if you kept oil in it and kept running it, you could probably get 320, 350,000 miles.
Well, that's the secret, though, is keeping oil in it.
All these new ones have some issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what is it? If you don't see oil and on the driveway under your Jeep, there's no oil in the 4.0.
That's right.
All right. So anyway, so I appreciate you guys being here today, and we're going to talk a little bit about Toledo Jeep Fest. Shirley, and one of you guys has to say, don't call me Shirley. Everybody knows about Toledo Jeep Fest, but for those that don't, one of you pick a number between 1 and 10 and tell me about the Toledo Jeep Fest.
You go ahead and start.
Yeah. Toledo Jeep Fest started in 2016. It was the 75th anniversary of the Jeep Jeep product, if you will, and certainly Jeep manufacturing here in Toledo. So a group of folks got together and decided we wanted to do something to celebrate, and we came up with this idea of doing a Jeep Fest. It really, the first time, it was basically a one day. It wasn't even really a full day. It was like a half a Saturday.
Yeah.
And,
really?
We did such took such a different approach, involving more and more of the business community and the dealers and so forth, with the social media promotion. We ended up with almost 30,000 people here, and it was a big hit. So And I would say originally there was a lot of thought about doing it just as a one-time deal to celebrate that 75th anniversary. And it was such a success that we got more and more pressure and more interest to do it each year. So we've been at it, and except for the COVID year, and then 1 year where there was some discussion about possibly Jeep leaving Toledo, we didn't do it because it's been a partnership with the UAW. But this is our 9th year, and next year, 2026 is going to be the 85th anniversary of Jeep. So a lot of work that we're doing this year hopefully lays the groundwork for another event next year.
Okay, so you did about 30,000. That wasn't on the half day. That was probably the next year or something. Or did you?
That was the half day.
Really? Wow, that's amazing. So, and it's normal for you guys to hit in the 70s now, right?
About 78,000 last year.
And it's not a one-day event either, correct?
No, we bumped it up now to. We moved it first time to a 2-day event, doing Saturday and Sunday, and now we actually have. We start on Friday. The city's good enough to close down the major streets in the downtown Toledo area on Friday about noon, because we take over. And when I say take over, that's literally take over about 20 square blocks in downtown Toledo, running from the riverfront back to Huron Street, and all the way from Jackson, which is where the government buildings are. One government center is located there, down to the other side of Hensville, where the ballpark is.
The Mud Hens. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So 3-day event, and what are the dates this year?
August 1st through 3rd.
Well, that's nice. If it's August, you're too late. You should have been ready. So if you look at your watch and it says August, you go, damn it. So speaking of being too late, so now you can go over to ToledoJeepFest.com and purchase tickets. Is that correct? I get more information and purchase tickets.
Yeah, our event, we have registration for the parade and for the Jeep display inside the convention center. The majority of the event is free.
So you show up.
Don't have to register for.
Yeah, just show up to it.
Just show up and have a good time.
If you're displaying a Jeep or going in the parade, you do have to pay for that.
Right. So that was the other thing I was going to mention is, and I think everybody should know this, but they may not. The parade. The parade is a big deal, and that's on Saturday, right?
Yes, Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. We run. We'll run from roughly 1,000 vehicles to, I think the 1 year we had as many as 14, until you include some of the vendors and suppliers and folks that come in and add on late. If
you guys cut off the certain number, but then more people, I don't want to say sneak in, but beg in or whatever. You had up to 1,400 that 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah, we've learned to manage that number because there's two issues. Number one, you have to pre-stage everybody.
Yeah, where you gonna put them?
And get it organized.
Right.
And then the one task that a lot of people don't understand or aren't aware of, and Brent and I fully understand, is that part of the benefit of being in the parade is that when the parade is over, we park all of those vehicles within the footprint of the area, so of our event. So, are you talking 1,000 cars, and it's an hour and a half tops?
Yeah, about an hour and a half. You got to park 1,000 cars.
It's no small task.
Oh yeah,
not in one parking lot. Several parking lots, down the streets, down the roads, and yeah, it's quite an ordeal.
So, do you guys have the tar and feathers ready in case somebody shows up in a Bronco?
We haven't had that problem.
I think you had a Humvee or something out there last year, though. If I was watching the parade, there was some non-Jeeps.
The National Guard.
Oh, they're okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what we say.
Yep.
So this is a Jeep Fest, people. Come out there with a Jeep.
Exactly.
So is now the time to start getting queued up for the parade? I mean, you got to be in the parade. You love your Jeep. It has to be seen, and it will be seen because in the past you guys have done lives on Facebook of the parade. Is that the plan again this year?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually done live on Facebook, and one of our local TV stations carries it. I think one of the most interesting things for me is that one of our vendors or sponsors actually did a live stream on it last year, and we had a guy from Romania calling up on Monday saying, "Hey, how do I get in this parade?"
That's neat.
So there's a lot of visibility to it. It's a fun parade.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is that this isn't just Toledo people. People come in from all over the country and even all over the world. This is a big deal, people, if you don't know about it already.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we had people from 40 states
40
yesterday,
states last year,
and I think 3 countries, four countries.
Yeah.
Does anybody come in from another country with their Jeep? I mean, do they ship it over?
Matter of fact, they do.
Good
we had
God.
in fact, the best top representative for the Netherlands shipped his Jeep over, I believe, to Seattle, and he did a drive across the United States, took a tour, but his end date was to be in Toledo on for the Jeep Fest parade. So yeah, they do.
God, I couldn't imagine being in that meeting and having to explain my business deduction for shipping the Jeep and then, of course, going across country. I don't think there's any Buc-ee's. Do you guys know about Buc-ee's? I'm sure you've heard about it on social media and stuff. Yeah, I don't think there's any
area yet, but they're hopefully in a couple of years they'll get here. But,
yeah, and I was going to say there's no Buc-ee's between Seattle and Toledo. That's not a good way to go.
If you're heading south, you'd probably run into a few of them, but not our direction.
Yeah. So is now a good time to get into the Jeep thing? Is it open for registration now?
Yes. Yes. You can go to Toledo Jeep Fest and ToledoJeepFest.com and register right now.
Cool. And
registration's open for the parade. I think we're going to go out with an announcement that we have a couple of hundred spots left in the next day or so, and we've got a few spots left in the convention center. But even that's getting tight this year because we seem to be drawing some really unusual vehicles.
Well, this is a great year too, isn't it? Because the presidential election is over, so there's no wondering about what's going to happen. Gas prices are down.
Right.
Things are just up and bright and so on and so forth. I mean, as long as you're not in a foreign country and getting bombed, it's a really good time to be alive.
Yeah, it'll be a good year this year, definitely.
Yeah. So I just think it's brighter and more up this year, especially after COVID. I mean, COVID's been a while, but still, I think things are a little more celebratory now. So I know the Mud Hens have been involved in some way or another in the past. Is it anything happening this year?
Yes, this year they're going to be in town also, right with Jeep Fest.
Yeah, they've got games on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday evening. And they've moved their Sunday evening game up to, I think it's at 2:00 on Sunday afternoon, so that if you're here for the event, or our event is wrapping up on Sunday afternoon, that you can still, visit and partake in the Mudheads game. And one of the things that's really cool, and I think it's an example of how the business community gets behind the event. They're a minor league baseball team, and they have the ability to rebrand, if you will, a couple of times a year. They're very limited with restrictions, and they rebrand for our event as the Mud Chuggers. And I happen to have mud crawlers. And I happen to have one of their shirts on. I sent you some information, I think, tied to their website. But
right.
It's a fun event, it really is.
Yeah, I think they did something 2 years ago that was similar.
Yeah, they weren't in town last year, so 2 years ago. And then the other thing that's a bonus for us is that when the Mud Hens are in town, that means fireworks on Friday night and Saturday night after the game. So, who doesn't love fireworks?
That's right. Oh, and that's the important part. This isn't just an old man Jeepers event. This is for the whole family.
This is for the whole family. And you don't have to be a Jeeper. I mean, if you're coming down to see everything, a lot of the people that come down there are not Jeepers. They're just down to enjoy downtown and all the events that are going on around it.
Yeah, of course.
On Saturday, there's going to be a thing with dogs. I'm trying to think what it's called, the Paws Play Zone. So, I mean, people can bring their dogs down and enjoy that. So there's a lot going on for everybody.
Yeah, we always have at least 2 kid zones. One at our There's what we call the Imagination Station. It's it used to be the Science and Industry Center here in Toledo, and they'll have the small electric Jeeps up there, and they do a little kind of a round racetrack with the old Power Wheels type Jeeps that are set up. They're all identified as for Toledo Jeep Fest. And we actually put those together a couple of years ago on an assembly line that we created to build those. And then the Mud Hens, they have the immediate area around the ball field is called Hensville, and they'll have their inflatables there. And it's another kid zone. Typically, we get some activity with. There's a group from the Metro Parks that brings over some rock climbing things that they have set up. And the one year they even brought I think a couple big swimming pools with some small kayaks in. And it appeals to the Jeep lifestyle of being outdoor and free. Mm-hmm. So the other thing we have inside the convention center is we'll have the RC rock calling course again. That's all set up for 1/10 scale electric Jeeps, and that's always a big hit with the youngsters.
Now, I've asked this before because we have a Jeep Talk Show team member that has a dog, and he takes the dog with him when he goes off-road. So, like when we went to EJS a year before last, Larry we had to find places that he could take his dog in, because you don't leave a dog out in a Jeep. Right. And I can't remember what you guys do. It's fine either way, but I'm just checking for the potential people coming out. Is this a dog-friendly event? Can you bring your dogs with you?
Yes, absolutely.
So they can come inside the convention center as well?
Yes.
We've had dogs in the convention center. Yep. But like I said, Brent mentioned it. We're going to have what they call a paw play zone this year, and there'll be some agility courses there that people can try with their dogs.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand that. Okay, good. I'm glad you pointed that out.
We've partnered with it's called LC4, Lucas County Animal Control Group, mm-hmm. And I'm sure they'll have some adoption activities going on and so forth. But there'll be a lot of awareness. We'll have some dog watering stations, and in case your dog.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So
put your dogs on leashes, people. Don't you go in there with a dog running around on its own. Be smart about it.
It's there obviously have to be leash.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have the dogs in the parade inside the Jeeps.
Of course. Yeah, Jeep dogs, of course. So
the other thing going on is we have bands also, live music and bands throughout downtown. Mm-hmm. So there's something for everybody.
Oh, and beer too, right? Isn't there some sort of beer thing?
We have 2 different beer gardens, one out in the vendor Midway, and then we have one in the Glass City Center.
400 guys just perked up like they heard a high-pitched whistle like a dog. Beer?
Yep.
All right. Well, this is good. So it really sounds like it was a lot like last year and the year before. Is there anything that you've added that you want to point out this year?
Yeah. There's 2 things that we've added this year. Is Friday night we have a block party, which is down in one of the big parking lots at the one end of of our footprint, and there'll be car crushing there. They got 4 old cars that you'll be able to drive your Jeep over, and and there'll be some vendors that are in that area. They're going to have some music, and we've got an interesting group this year that's decided to join, and it's called Wa Strong, or Way Strong, Wa Strong, and basically it's a weightlifting physical fitness group. And one of the fellows that is an organizer in it, I guess he's billed as one of the strongest firefighter in the U.S. or whatever. He's competed in the Arnold program or Arnold contest down in Columbus each year, and they do weightlifting, and it's not just a typical kind of weightlifting. And they'll have a competition. I believe there's 10 males and 10 females that are coming to do this. It's an exhibit and competition.
And they're not going to just do regular weightlifting. They're going to do Jeep lifts. They're going to do axle lifts.
Squats
and stuff like that. So they're not using typical weights. They're going to be using Jeep parts basically to do their strongman competition.
That's cool.
I hooked the one fellow that is the organizer is Marcus. I hooked him up with our friends at Dana, and I'm trying to get him to set up a Dana 60 with a pair of 37 inches on it, and he can do some bench pressing with that.
Well, Jerry, you can't put 37s on a Dana 60. That's a differential dragger. It has to at least be 40s.
Well, yeah.
Oh, those 40s get really heavy there.
Again, appealing to the Jeep community is, there's always the issue of the ducks at a Jeep event. So they've got some concrete ducks. I think they weigh 26 or 27 pounds. Yeah. And they're going to have a duck holding contest.
Oh, so my God.
You hold this duck out, and there'll be a prize for whoever can hold it for the longest, so forth. So, it's going to be a fun event. It's going to have a lot of different aspects to it. And then typically we've had an off-site camping area that's directly adjacent to the where we stage for the parade at the one Metro Park. So you can camp with your Jeep right on site and within walking distance of the restaurants and the main areas of the event. The group I think I had mentioned to you, that's Epic Adventure group that of the vintage Jeepers that were making the tours across the different locations that recently finished that one they called the Mitten Race, where they drove around the perimeter of Michigan.
Right.
They're going to be there with some of their vehicles on display, and it should be a fun time. And they'll be camped at the base camp as well.
I think Jeep Talk Show Chris has been there at least the last 4 years, maybe 5 years. Chris actually got flagged down by Tom Zielinski, 4Fest Events, because he was out there, and he says he was going, Tony, come over here. It wasn't Tony, it was Chris. But anyway, that's how we got hooked up with Tom Zielinski from 4Fest Events, and that was fun. It was fun getting that out there. But anyway, Chris, I know, has camped out there. What is it? It's like underneath an overpass or something, isn't it?
Underneath the high-level bridge.
Yeah, there's a high-level bridge right along the riverfront. It's at the Middle Grounds Metro Park.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a pretty sweet sight when you look at it.
Yeah.
When the Epic Adventure group came through, they were here, I think it was June 5th or 6th they were here. And they set it up with, had fire pits and firewood. They brought in some additional porta-johns and so forth. So they're really accommodating, and they enjoy doing this.
So I'm going to put you guys on the spot, and you can say pass if you want to. So Chris and I were talking the other day about the Toledo Jeep Fest, specifically about the parade. And I said, and I think Chris is actually working on this with somebody. Maybe he was talking to you, Jerry. Maybe he was talking to Whitney about it. Is there a way we can get Chris out there with his camera and his mic and record video for the YouTube, the Jeep Talk Show YouTube people, where Chris is running around out there with the Jeeps talking to people?
With that at all.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun, and it would give you guys another avenue to help promote the thing, where you're already doing the live on Facebook, but we would do a widescreen, where it was like 16 by 9 instead of that narrow stuff all the kids use.
Somewhere along the parade route, and I don't see a problem with that at all.
Yeah, Chris, he knows the territory, and we can certainly make that work if there's some facilitation that needs to be done. But we'd welcome that.
That'd be great. We really appreciate that. He can get out there and do some man on the street type thing, run alongside the Jeeps and talk to people, throw the candy back at the Jeeps. Cause I remember you guys were saying no throwing of candy, but people were still doing it.
Right. Yeah, we try to limit that. We don't want the little kids running out there.
It's a yearly challenge.
Exactly. Well, some of those lifted Jeeps, you may not see the kid going for the candy.
Right.
You don't need that kind of publicity. Yeah, exactly.
But Chris has done some on the spot, interview the owners of some of the vehicles that are in the historic and a specialty vehicle display. We try to get him hooked up there, so certainly we can. Oh yeah,
anything you can get him involved in is great. Even if Chris says no, do it anyway. Damn it! So I think I remember. I remember he got Joe from Maximus 3. I think it was last year. Did a good interview with him, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really appreciate all the hard work Chris does. I'm down here in Southeast Texas. He's up there in the sweet spot, so he can go to the Steer Smart stuff. He can go to y'all's event, and it's just like, and he just loves it. He loves going out there, camping out, and being involved with you guys. So really appreciate it.
He's welcome anytime.
All right, well, good. I'm going to pass that along. He's going to say, Tony, I already told you I took care of this. So I got too many things to remember. All right, so let me back up here to the introduction. Tell me, Jerry, what a M715 and 725 is. I know it's a Kaiser Jeep. It's an older Jeep.
Yeah,
but what are those?
It's a Kaiser Jeep, but basically a pickup truck with military, roots. They're heavy duty. They're considered a classified as a 5/4 ton vehicle. They're really low geared. They're not high speed vehicles. Most of them, have a dash plaque that says "Do not exceed 55 mile an hour," which you couldn't do anyway. But I think the majority of them are probably 538 gears, and well,
it was meant for moving people and equipment, not fast, but getting them from
what they were for.
Yeah, and faster means more 18-year-olds that get killed.
Yeah, and the 725 is has got like a box on the back of it, and they were typically used for either ambulance. They were outfitted as ambulances or like a machine shop. If you had, you'd have. I've seen some of them with a welding machine, a small lathe, a grinder, and some other equipment inside where they would do, vehicle maintenance like for a motor pool or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the majority of them that are survivors, because they were built and put into service basically right towards the end of the Vietnam War.
Okay, that was my next question: is what range were they in? So
yeah, they were built 67, 68. I think 69 was the last year. So a lot of the later built vehicles, they found their way to the Forestry Service. They found their way to the Civil Defense Program. You'll see one that's painted white with the big CD on the door, and a lot of them ended up with fire departments as brush trucks. So there's quite a few of them around when you consider how many were actually produced in that time frame.
So
and they had the original vehicle had that 230 cubic inch overhead cam engine. They were all manual transmission. There was no such thing as an automatic in an M750 or whatever. So you'll run across them every once in a while where they've done the modifications to them, and they'll have everything from a 350 Chevy to a lot of the guys use the Cummins diesels. We had one at the show 2 years ago, I think. But the guy is a guy named Joe Shiggs, and he's got one with a V10 out of a Viper, which makes for a really exciting vehicle.
I bet. So would they have used the 715 or 725 in the Korean War?
No, I think they were all, that's all they were all post-Korean War. They didn't really hit the marketplace until 67, 68. So the Korean War stuff would have all been over by then.
Right. That makes sense. I was actually getting
the Korean War vehicles that you saw that were similar to that would have been like the M37 Dodges.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting my wars out of order. I was thinking that was after Vietnam. Okay, I got you. So, yeah, not a big history buff here. So, apologize. Anyway, I was shooting towards MASH, and something that we may have seen on MASH. Those
would have been your Korean War M38s. Yeah, and there were quite a few of the Dodge the modified Power Wagons as they called them at the time. Yeah. But that would have been mostly Willie's M38s at that time.
So actually, there is a MASH component to the Toledo Jeep Fest, in as much as Klinger. He popularized. What was it? It was the mud hens, right?
Yeah, Tony Paco restaurants, and he's a big proponent of Toledo all the way around on that show.
Right.
Jamie Ford is a big fan for Toledo, and
have you guys ever had him out to the Toledo Jeep Fest? I mean, he's in his 80s now, so
Toledo Jeep Fest. He's been to Toledo multiple times, but he's usually here scheduling.
Oh God, you guys need to get him. You need to get him at the Toledo Jeep Fest. Set up a dunking tank and get him to wear a dress. That's a crowd pleaser right there.
Yeah, I don't think those days are over. But
varicose veins now, so it's a big no. Yeah, it's really cool. So it's kind of making the connection for people, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are MASH fans, and it's just kind of tying this together. Yeah, that's right. Klinger was a big Toledo fan. I think his character was from Toledo. So yeah, that's really cool. All right, so
there's always a lot of movie connections with the Jeep vehicles.
Absolutely.
I'm almost every year we have multiple Jurassic Park vehicles. I guess there's a new movie coming out. I don't know what the number is on the series, but there'll be some clone vehicles from Jurassic Park at our show,
right,
for sure. We typically have one or two of the old CJs that are equipped like a Rat Patrol.
I remember Rat Patrol. That was cool. Yeah. And
we always try to get a couple of the Grand Wagoneers that used to be on the intro to Dallas every night. And when the Dallas show would come on, they have the black Grand Wagoneer.
I'll have to go back and check that. I never made that connection. I wasn't a big soap opera fan, though.
And even back years ago, Dukes of Hazzard, Daisy drove a white.
Eagle, yeah, right? definitely know that one. I remember because the Jeep wore these really tight white pants, so I remember that Jeep very well.
Yeah, when you look, I mean, one of the things that, again, we're going back, but American Motors did a tremendous job with the movie industry and getting their vehicles out there. Back to the Future, CJ, when they were dragging a skateboard around through town.
Absolutely, yep.
You got that one. You got the Goonies in that green XJ.
Yep.
That was multiple times that was out. And you were asking about an M750. Trying to think of the name of the movie. It's the one with these big lizards or whatever that were in the ground.
Was it Tremors?
Tremors?
Yeah,
right?
with Kevin Bacon. Yep.
Yes, exactly. And then
I remember seeing that one. That was a pile of crap they were driving.
That yellow full-size Jeep that was in Twister.
Twister. Oh, I hated seeing that thing getting trashed. That was a beautiful Hondo or something. Yeah. So did you guys ever watch The Walking Dead? I remember my then co-host and I would talk about all the Jeeps that we would see as strewn around. They were. I don't think I ever saw XJs. I never saw quality Jeeps. I saw some of the not so much like nothing that anybody on the set would want to have. You wouldn't see those around, but there was a lot of those strewn around in the desolation of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, and I know, like when the most recently, or a couple of years now, but the movie that was out, a lot of the war movies, the Band of Brothers. Right. I know that I think Chrysler at that time worked with them to get a collection of very authentic military Jeeps.
Oh, that's great.
To be in that show, because they had a lot of vehicles in there.
All right, well, one more movie reference and I'll stop it. But the movie Taken, there was a big chase scene in a white XJ that it was so much XJ. It was really cool. He was driving that thing all around. I'm sorry, I lied. And then one more, Castaway. Tom Hanks was driving that beautiful blue classic. It was a 98 or 99, maybe somewhere in there, that body style. And
we can probably go on with this all day long.
I know that's why we have to stop.
But don't forget Fantasy Island.
Oh yeah, the Jeep.
Yeah. Yep, Fantasy Island with the the Hawaiian version of the
yeah.
And then what was the other one? We're going to get carried away here, but Elvis Presley with Blue Hawaii.
Oh, I don't remember that. I wasn't a big Presley fan.
They had one of the Jeep Surreys in that as well.
Ronald Reagan. There's a classic photo of him in a scrambler.
In the high boots with the scrambler, the blue scrambler.
That's right. So this is actually a good point, and something I was going to make earlier. People can come out to the Toledo Jeep Fest even if they don't own a Jeep, because I believe everybody at some point in their life wishes they had a Jeep. And they don't get a Jeep because it's not practical. It doesn't get good gas mileage. You can't shoehorn 57 people in it. You're having a midlife crisis, all those things. And I think there's a lot of closeted would-be Jeep owners, and this is the next best thing to them being able to have a Jeep, is to go out there and be around them. I always say, don't play that game. Don't listen to anybody else. Get a Jeep, damn it.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. One of the other things I wanted to touch on is on the third day, on Sunday, we talked about people going down there and not having Jeeps and stuff for everybody else. We actually have a marathon on Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, we do a 1 mile walk. And then soon after the 1 mile walk starts, there's a 4 mile marathon that goes on. So, and that's for everybody. So that's another thing that we do for the whole community, not just for the Jeepers. Yeah.
You don't have to be a Jeep fan. You don't have to have a Jeep. Just come on out and have a good time. One of the things I want to mention, you mentioned, what was it? Paco's? What was the name of that one?
Tony Paco's.
Tony Paco's. So Chris tells me about that every damn time he goes over there. I had to get me a hot dog.
The best hot dogs around.
Yeah,
Hungarian hot dogs they're called.
So there's a lot of food. There's food at the event, but also there's a lot of good places to eat around the event.
Yes.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, the businesses, the restaurants, the bars, they've really gotten behind the event, and they are participants in it. So there's a lot of activity. One of the other things, the more we talk about this, one of the things that it makes our event unique is it's in a downtown metropolitan kind of area. So there's always, you always get complaints, not complaints, but suggestions. You need an off-road component of it, That's kind of tough to do downtown.
Well, I told you not to have the city fill in the potholes for the parade.
One of our sponsors happens to be a dealer that is just across the state line in Michigan that has an off-road course available, and they open up on Friday at noon.
Yep.
So you can go up there, and they have it's an introduction party. So a lot of people coming down from the Detroit area, or even people from Toledo, they'll run up there, do the off-road thing, get a lot of mud and dirt on the Jeep, and then they'll come back downtown to the block party, and then they're all geared up for the parade and so forth. So we can't do it right downtown yet. We haven't figured that out. Still working on it, but there is the ability. It's an 18 obstacle course. It's not bad. The Steve Garnier that did the old Jeep when they did Camp Jeep, they always had the off-road courses. The same contractor built this off-road course up there, so it's first class.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you can kind of get the Jeep juices flowing before you come to Toledo Jeep Fest, is what you're saying.
Yep.
And by the way, there should be extra points for dirty Jeeps in the Jeep parade, not them brightly polished.
That are mud covered.
Yeah, we have our segment of the folks that get them prepped that way for the
event. That's very nice. All right, so no candy throwing again this year, right?
Correct.
That's the plan.
So beads and topless women is a no as well. Just checking for the fans.
Carry that to New Orleans, baby, but
not here.
It's a family event. We'd probably not be happy with that.
All the Jeeps can be topless.
There you go. Jeeps topless. Only the Jeeps can be topless, not the occupants. Yep. And so what time does the parade start? It's on Saturday, right? And what time does it start?
Saturday morning starts at 10 o'clock.
10 a.m.
We start staging early in the morning. We start staging at 7?
Yeah, about 7 o'clock we'll start staging. And the staging area itself is kind of like a tailgate area. There'll be, a couple of food vendors over there and, hot chocolate and so forth. I'll be surprised if we don't have somebody over there selling merchandise as well. But it's kind of like a tailgate area, and a lot of folks getting together and talking about what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, make their plans and so forth. So it's a fun event.
Yeah, and if I remember this right, because I wasn't there. Chris was. I believe the interview that Chris did with Joe Maximus 3, that he was in the staging area because all the Jeeps were kind of set up in rows, so Chris could just go from Jeep to Jeep talking to people.
Yeah, it's a great location. One of our sponsors, Owens Corning, has a parking lot right along the river. And what's nice about it is they have a solar array above it. So you're in the shade.
Oh, that's what that was. I didn't realize that. It looked like a covered parking lot. Okay.
And the photos, well, you saw some of Chris's pictures. The photos that are taken there are pretty, pretty eye-catching. It's very unique.
Yeah, so if you like Jeeps and you like hanging out with Jeep people, a lot of Jeep people, register for the parade. And all this information you're giving me is, I'm sure, is going to be part of the registration, because it'll either be communicated after they're registered or it's there on the registration about the time that you got to be there and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and you don't have to do the parade. We have a park and shine area also. And we usually get right around 100 people that come in and do just the park and shine. Mm-hmm. So if you want to just display your Jeep and you don't want to be a part of the parade, or you want to display it and come and watch the parade, that's a great way to do that.
So it's one or the other, right? You can't be in the parade and then take your Jeep over to the park and shine? Both. Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of how that this park and shine got started. We had a lot of people that said, hey, I've done the parade a couple of years. I would like to see the parade because it's hard to watch the parade. But yet I want to show off my vehicle. So if you think about, the parade kind of goes around the outside of our footprint. So we have an area inside the footprint that once the parade starts, it's kind of hard to get to.
Right.
So it's a great place to do the park and shine, and it's easy access. It's right next to our vendor Midway, which is in that same general area. And we'll have this year, we've got, we're getting real close to about 125 vendors now.
Nice.
And some of the vendors, are going to be they'll be selling merchandise or information or whatever. But we actually have a couple of vendors that are going to be doing installs. So
wow.
if you want to, one of them that comes to mind is Easy Trunk. I think is one of the vendors that's doing installs, and that it's a trunk area underneath the rear seat that you can get installed. If you buy it, you can get it installed there. A couple of years, I'm not sure if the stereo guys are going to be doing theirs this year, but yeah, the stereo group. You come in if you want to upgrade your head unit and so forth. They'll do it for you right there, and drive out with the new sound.
Very nice. Very nice.
We have a lot of vendors that are inside the Glass City Center also. So there's a lot to do inside. I mean, it could be extremely hot or raining or whatever. Come inside of the Glass City Center, and like I said, we have quite a few vendors inside there. We'll have them in the hallways around it, along with the history area. So there's a lot to do inside and outside.
To give you an idea, some of our vendors, like we have got a couple of tire vendors, and they're looking to talk to you and get you to ask them questions about their products, and then you have a drawing, and who doesn't want to win a set of tires?
Oh God, that's a bunch of money right there. Yeah, that's great.
And we've got a friend that won a set a couple of years ago. I think he got the BF Goodrich KMs or whatever, and he loves them, and they're free. You don't get any better than that.
No, it really doesn't. The only way it gets better is if the girl believes your fake driver's license is real. So damn it, you got me excited about the tires. I was going to ask you about something else. So we've covered the camping. There's places to stay. There's hotels around there if you're coming in from out of town. There's good places to eat, and there's food at the event. It's dog friendly. Yeah, it's dog friendly. So you can bring your dogs with you. There's things for your kids to get involved in and be a part of. Let's see. There's baseball. My God, you guys really have it covered. So you guys have been doing this for a while, and it shows because you're really prepared. And did you ever get a final count on last year's? And I don't want to overstate the number, because it's not crowded. It's a large area, so you can fit a lot of people in this.
Last year,
we work real close with the tourism group that does some pretty accurate assessing on counts, and I mean they even do they can tell cell phone inventories within the area and so forth.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so they're telling us it was like 78,000 over the course of the 3 days last year.
Wow, that's nice.
That's pretty impressive.
So it's not a full day Friday, right? It's not a full day Friday or Sunday, is that correct?
About a half a day on Friday, And but I would encourage you, if some of the people want to come to town early, there's other things to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you look at our website, we'll tell you. I mean, we've got just in the downtown area. There is this imagination station, and it's an interesting place for young people and kids. And they have the Toledo Art Museum, which is one of the world-renowned glass museums, based on their connection with the Libya and so forth in Toledo. And then right across the river from our event area, there's a downtown metro park, which has a new feature they call the Ribbon, and they do ice skating on it in the winter, and they do roller skating on it in the summer. And that's right next to the Maritime Museum. There's a 600-foot lake freighter and a tugboat there, and that is, it's within walking distance of the couple of the hotels that are there. But with nothing else, it's a 5-minute drive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I warned you guys before we got started. I was going to ask you a question, and again, any of these things I ask, you can always say pass, or preferably, it was like I can't tell you about that because it's secret. Is this the final year for the Jeep Wrangler 392? I don't think it is. I think they're going to continue making it.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't.
But the fact that they're still making the Hemis kind of leads you to believe it may still be around, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know for sure either, but all indications that there's a renewed interest in the V8 engines. And
well, they got rid of that damn EV mandate, so I would say that it's going to be safer for at least the next 3.5 years. And who doesn't like selling $100,000 Jeeps for the next 3.5 years?
Well, and I was just going to tell you that AMW, one of the vendor display, will have one of their vehicles there, America's Most Wanted, and they do everything up to that Hellcat motor in those.
Yeah, they put the Hellcat.
So, we had one on display this year. We got one coming for the display this year as well. So, they'll be here in force, and they'll be happy to take. If you stop by or fly in, I'm sure we can hook you up for a drive home with one of theirs.
So let me ask you this: in prior years, and correct me on this if I'm remembering wrong, the Jeep concept vehicles have been there. Jeep has been a part of the Toledo Jeep Fest.
Correct.
Are they?
We'll have between 4 or 5 of them this year.
Okay, so the Jeep is going to be involved with the Toledo Jeep Fest again this year. I think that it was a godsend that the CEO of Stellantis resigned, because they weren't going to events, and I didn't know how that was going to affect you guys. So I'm glad to hear that they're going to be there. I don't know that it has anything to do with Tavares or not, but I think I'm thinking better things for Jeep, because the management has changed.
There's a renewed interest with the Stellantis people to participate in the show. They've talked to us about bringing, in addition to the Easter Jeep Safari concept, which they bring. That Brent mentioned, bring 4 or 5 of those. They've asked about some historical vehicles, given the fact that the anniversary is coming up next year. We might see, an MB or an MA or something like that come down. And then one of the things that they also bring as part of their Mopar operation, they've had their Jeep technical trailer with crate engines and axles and components. And this discussion that I'm aware of is that they're going to try and bring their Jeep pod display like they had at Easter Jeep Safari. So I don't know if you saw that or not, but they had what they called Jeep pods, and it was like segmented display areas set up, and they're going to try and do that either in addition or in lieu of their Jeep technical trailer. Okay,
cool. That is really neat. So final question. I mentioned in an interview with Whitney 2 years ago, I believe, and I probably mentioned it again with the one that we did with you and Whitney and you, Jerry. So a honor badge for the parade. So you guys are involved with Stellantis. I want an honor badge for anybody that they can get that was in the parade. I mean, you need to get a Jeep honor badge. It doesn't have to be just for trails. I think it'd be so cool for the Toledo Jeep Fest and especially if you didn't fill in the potholes, I think that'd be just a great off-road type thing. So when you're talking to
that's something we can always discuss with them.
Yes, I don't think Whitney discussed it. I told her about it. I don't think she discussed it. Damn it, it's a great idea. Because I came up with it.
That's not an idea at all.
All right, guys, you know how the kids love the social media. We've mentioned the website, ToledoJeepFest.com. Where can we find you on the Instagram, the TikTok, Pinterest, X?
You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on X, Instagram, YouTube, ToledoJeepFest.com. We're all over all of it.
And they really need to go over to Facebook if they want to watch the parade, if they're not going to be there, because you guys do live on Facebook.
Live streams all throughout the parade and throughout the day.
Right. Are you guys doing the Hype Fest this year too?
Yes, we're doing Toledo Speedway coming up. What's the date on
July 11th.
July 11th. So we've done several already. Toledo Speedway's coming up, and that's always a big one. So that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, you'll probably see Chris at these things. He goes out to the Hype.
Chris will definitely be at the Speedway event because the way we wrap up the event is we do a couple of laps. We let them do some laps on the track. Now it's managed laps, let's put it that way. So because we always have a pace car or a pace Jeep or two up front, but our friends from Dana Corporation have volunteered to do the pace work for us the last couple of years, and they happen to have a 392 Gladiator and a Hellcat Rubicon that lead the way. So not anybody going to pass them, that's for sure.
So that's what I'm hoping. I actually said this in a recent episode. I don't think the 392s are going away. And with the 3.5 years, I mean, how hard is it to put a 392 in a Gladiator? I hope we see a 392 Gladiator before.
I hope we do too.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. It needs it for towing, because everybody's going to use their Gladiator for towing.
Absolutely.
All right, so one more thing here. I just hit me. Jamie Farr can't come out. We know Chris is coming out. All you guys have to do is find a dunking tank, and Chris may have his own dress, and you guys can put Chris in the dunking tank. We're in the dress. I'll just make sure he knows to wear underwear because we don't want any mishaps as he's going into the water.
Yeah, you can suggest that to Chris, Oh,
I will.
A lot of times whenever I introduce Chris, it'll be somebody say, hey, could you tell me where Chris McMahon is? And I'll say, yeah, he's the large man over there.
Oh, he's so tall. Yeah. Well, all in red because he has the red hat. Yeah. He has the red Jeep Talk Show hat. Was it a red Jeep Talk Show hat that he gave you?
Red the last time, yeah.
Yeah. So red shirt, red hat, and 6'9" at least.
Yeah, easy to find in the crowd.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being with us here today, and good luck again. Toledo Jeep Fest, ToledoJeepFest.com. Be part of the parade. Go over there, and Jerry, you're going to be out there, right? I know you're real busy. Chris always tells me he sees you.
Brent and I will be there. Our whole crew will be there. We'll have some shirts on that says usually staff on the back, so you can identify us. Stop and talk. We're always happy to chat with the Jeep people.
Yeah, you'll see Jerry going by in a little golf cart. Hey, Jerry. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Right. And August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and the parade is on the 2nd on Saturday. Be in the parade. You need to hurry up because it's 1,000 spots, right? And you've got 200 left.
Spots.
Yeah. So, but they've gone as high as 1,400. So you may be able to still be able to beg in. You just have to know how to beg. Beg with a duck.
We'd like to get you registered ASAP. But,
yes.
Don't count us out. How's that?
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.